Bună dimineața, doamnelor și domnilor! Bine ați venit la Moldova Digital Summit. Înainte să începem, vă rog să luăm un minut de reculegere pentru legendarul compozitor Eugen Doga. Vă rog să ne ridicăm în picioare și să urmărim și la ecran. Ladies and gentlemen, we lost this week one of the greatest composers of Moldovan history, Eugen Doga. Please, let's take a minute of mourning, remembering. Haideți să-l aplaudăm pe maestru. Vă mulțumesc. Deci, bine ați venit la Moldova Digital Summit. Astăzi este prima zi, avem o zi foarte plină și până să începem cu partea oficială, zic să le chemăm în scenă pe organizatoarele acestui eveniment care vor urca pe scenă imediat ce vom vedea încă un video pe ecran.
What does a digital future look like? What are the skills needed? How do governments need to transform? What will ensure businesses succeed? How do we develop a robust and resilient infrastructure? Visionaries, innovators, leaders and thinkers from around the world shape the future of digitalization today. Immerse yourself in transformative discussions, engage in interactive workshops, forge powerful connections, witness transformative ideas in action, discover innovation, connect and evolve, drive change. Welcome to Moldova Digital Summit, where innovation meets opportunity. Let's power a 100% digital tomorrow.
I'm switching to English now, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome on stage Marina Bzovui, Nicoleta Colomeț, and Ana Chirița.
Welcome to Moldova Digital Summit 2025.
Yes, this is the edition that we expect to be even bigger than we had it last year, and it's going to be every time even bigger and bigger.
Moldova Digital Summit is built around the 4 pillars of the European Digital Decade, and we are discussing how we advance digital transformation on 4 key pillars: government, business, skills, and infrastructure. In terms of government, we're building the easiest and most accessible digital state in the region, with over 60% of services already available digitally. We're making strides. We have electronic signature. We have the first version of the European identity wallet here in Moldova, and we're not stopping here.
In Moldova, we have the only virtual park in Eastern Europe, and it's not only about that. It's about 2,300 entrepreneurs in IT sector, the biggest one basically in Moldova, that it's here, it's working, it's the best fiscal regime that you can have in Eastern Europe and the whole Europe.
And when we talk about businesses and companies, we reached more than 1.5 billion in turnover when we talk about the ICT sector. We have the friendliest, the most constructive, and the most dedicated, probably, ICT sector in Moldova that works with the government, and with all public authorities to make IT happen and make Moldova the IT destination that everybody who is coming from abroad, raise your hands. Yay! Hopefully, we'll open a company in the IT park or will collaborate with e-government agency, and therefore you have the industry here helping you and welcoming you to Moldova Digital Summit 2025.
We have 3 days packed with keynotes, workshops, panels. Make sure to explore the expo area where we have the private sector, the education sector, and of course the government.
Yeah. 100 speakers, but the most important one we're inviting on the stage, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Moldova, Mr. Dorin Recea.
Let's welcome him.
Look, I'm really privileged for the second year to open the Digital Summit that is growing in scope and is growing in geography. And look, guys, I know that the English is the lingua franca in IT, but please allow me to have part of my speech in Romanian. Eu vă salut la Chișinău, pe toată lumea. Este Moldova Digital Summit 2025 și este unul dintre cele mai importante evenimente de acest gen din întreaga regiune și eu mă bucur că am ajuns aici împreună cu Doina, vă rog să o aplaudați. Acum câteva ore ne-am întors de la Bruxelles și sentimentul nostru este că este cam printre ultimele ediții când o facem nefiind încă în membri ai Uniunii Europene. Moldova nu mai este de mult doar un consumator de tehnologii și soluții IT. Eu mă bucur și sunt mândru că avem atâtea soluții, atâtea produse generate aici în interior. Hai să aplaudăm pentru acei întreprinzători și oameni inovatori. Este adevărat că noi suntem la fel de buni și în a produce vin. Adică enjoy it. Trăim o perioadă în care săptămânile valorează cât ani în evoluția tehnologică, în special în domeniul inteligenței artificiale, și progresul se produce cu o viteză fără precedent și afectează întreaga societate. Această accelerare ne obligă să punem o întrebare simplă, dar fundamentală. Cum ne asigurăm că nu doar ținem pasul, ci și valorificăm aceste tehnologii în beneficiul tuturor? Nu doar pentru cei din IT, ci și pentru cei din industrie, agricultură, educație, medicină, administrație publică. Transformarea digitală nu mai este o opțiune, ci este o condiție absolut necesară pentru succesul economic și, foarte important, pentru relevanță aici în țară, dar și în internațional. Și este în acest context, business-ul non-IT are nevoie de ajutorul dumneavoastră, are nevoie să știe cum să-și crească productivitatea, cum să-și crească eficiența, cum să fie competitivi. Și aici eu mizez pe dumneavoastră să putem să ajutăm business-urile non-IT să adopte soluțiile IT și mai ales Artificial Intelligence. Trebuie să recunosc un lucru. De recent mi-am luat de pe Amazon 2 cărți. Una se numește Prompt Engineering cu ChatGPT și a doua Co-Intelligence, Living and Working with the AI. Deci prima este a lui Russell Grant, cred că îl cunoașteți, și a doua a profesorului de la Wharton, Ethan Mollick. Aici am înțeles eu că aceste cărți nu se citesc, că aceste cărți se studiază. Ce vreau să zic este că avem un mare potențial să creștem. Ați observat că erau 3 doamne aici? Este o oportunitate extraordinară pentru Republica Moldova și pentru regiune să atragem mai multe doamne în acest sector. Mulțumesc! Acum, în paralel, trebuie să avem și o discuție deschisă și onestă despre educația în domeniul IT. Există o frică în ceea ce privește inteligența artificială, că va reduce forța de muncă, că o va substitui și așa mai departe. Ce vreau să vă zic? Citind cele 2 cărți, am înțeles că avem mult de lucru. Avem mult de lucru ca să putem să înțelegem cum inteligența artificială să augmenteze capacitatea noastră, nu să o substituie. Moldova a făcut progrese remarcabile în digitalizarea serviciilor publice. Doamnele ne-au informat despre asta cu multă mândrie. Mai avem mult de lucru aici, dar ele ne-au promis și Doina va avea grijă să livrăm asta cât de curând și 100% din serviciile publice, atât a mediului de afaceri cât și a cetățenilor, să fie digitalizate. Viteza în sine totuși nu este obiectivul. Viteza în digitalizare este foarte importantă pentru guvern, pentru că timpul economisit înseamnă astăzi încredere. Și aici trebuie să muncim foarte mult ca să recăpătăm încrederea oamenilor în instituții. Odată cu dezvoltarea Facebook și a altor rețele, TikTok, Telegram și așa mai departe, noi avem totuși o problemă ca guvern în ceea ce privește încrederea cetățeanului în instituții și atunci serviciile publice digitalizate este cheia noastră a guvernului, a administrației, să recăpătăm încrederea cetățenilor. Trebuie să privim cu sinceritate unde ne aflăm astăzi și să trasăm un nou plan, cu noi priorități și noi instrumente pentru următorii ani. Parcursul european al Republicii Moldova presupune nu doar reforme legislative și instituționale, ci și adopția unor noi standarde digitale ridicate, sisteme informatice complexe și infrastructură tehnologică compatibilă cu cea a Uniunii Europene. Acesta este un efort care nu poate fi amânat și nu poate fi abordat fragmentar. Acum, în următoarele zile, vă invit și vă rog să avem curaj, să avem deschidere și să avem discuții inteligente despre viitorul nostru, pentru că noi aici îl construim. Parcursul european presupune ca noi să ne integrăm ca și societate, ca și economie, într-un spațiu enorm de aproximativ 1,5 miliarde de oameni. Și acum, let's talk business. Ziceam că noi cu Doina câteva ore în urmă ne-am întors de la Bruxelles și voi știți că Bruxelles este cumva asociat cu birocrația. Dar asta nu înseamnă că acea birocrație nu poate fi făcută deștept, adică smart bureaucracy. Așa că acum noi anunțăm un concurs pentru o soluție de government smart bureaucracy. Guvernul Republicii Moldova va fi primul vostru client și cel mai bun vânzător. Doina is in charge. Mulțumesc!
Domnule prim-ministru, vă rog să rămâneți în scenă ca să facem o fotografie cu echipa care organizează acest eveniment. Hai să-i aplaudăm. We will take a group picture with the Prime Minister, everybody that put together this event.
Such a big to-do list from the Prime Minister.
Good.
Look for a photographer. Of course, any event has its awkward moments. We are looking for a photographer.
Okay, there.
Everybody pull out your
There.
phones and take a picture. Thank you, everyone.
And lastly, before I leave, remember there is one thing AI cannot take from us, and that is love.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Next, I would like to invite back on stage, because she already took a picture. Please welcome Doina Nistor, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Economic Development and Digitalization of Moldova.
All right, good morning, everyone. I wanted to say that what you heard this morning, the composer, Eugen Doga, actually his Blânda și tandra mea fiară, this is one of the musical masterpieces that was recognized in 2023 by UNESCO as one of the 4 musical masterpieces of the world. So I encourage you to actually listen to it and search it if you are a guest today from another country at the summit. And also, if you go to Milești Mici, there is a special wine with a QR code where you can download this music. When you imagine Europe's next digital powerhouse, who comes to mind? What if I told you that one of the most agile, most ambitious, and fast-moving digital ecosystems is being built right here in Moldova? Yes, Moldova, a country once better known for its vineyards than its startups. But today, we stand at the crossroads of transformation. Moldova is radical, purposeful, and Moldova is digital. In just a few years, Moldova has evolved from a follower to a frontrunner in digital governance and in IT innovation. Our IT sector contributes now to 7% of our GDP, outpacing traditional industries and having one of the fastest growth rates in Eastern Europe. In terms of export performance, Moldova has recorded the highest ICT service growth rates among neighboring and regional competitors, including our neighbors, Ukraine and Romania, but also our friends from the Baltic states, and we have the Minister of Latvia here. Service exports, including IT and BPO, have hit a record 2.7 billion, that is double the 2020 level. And for the first time in the Moldovan economy, services represent more than 45% of our total exports. This is the foundation that made our digital evolution possible. And as Marina said, at the heart of this success is Moldova Innovation Technology Park. That is Europe's first virtual IT park and now home to over 2,300 companies. Many of them are global players in fintech, cybersecurity, AI, creative tech. We have investors from 45 countries that have chosen to develop their IT business here, drawn by Moldova's hopefully smart regulations, talent, and the growth potential. And this is not a coincidence. It is the result of smart policy and strategic investment from our government. The Moldovan government actually guarantees that the single percent 7% tax for IT companies that is very simple and predictable will be in place until 2035. Moreover, we have eligibility for research and development, And we warmly invite the investors to seize this opportunity and establish their R&D teams right here in Moldova. I was speaking this morning upstairs to our friends from Estonia, who are doing exactly that. In Estonia, as a small country, R&D. So we believe that smaller countries like Moldova, like Estonia, we are more agile to do the R&D. Now let's talk about the government. We believe that public institutions should move at all speed of innovation. That is why we already digitalized 80% of the state business interactions and over half of the public services. By the end of this year, we plan to cover 75%, including key business services. And for those of you who asked me this morning, by 2030, Moldova will be a fully digital state with, of course, the smart bureaucracy. And at the core of this transformation is EVO and our exceptional Moldova e-governance agency. And EVO is our one-stop super app that has launched this year at this very summit. We have 110,000 downloads and 100,000 service requests from businesses. And EVO is quickly becoming a vital part of the Moldova's digital life, including of mine. And I want to say that this is not just a tool. It's a new way of governing, one that is efficient, responsive, and citizen-centric. And behind this transformation, again, is the e-governance agency, which over the past 15 years has been quietly moving mountains to build the systems and the foundations of Moldova's digital state. In the years ahead, we go further with our new national digital priorities. The rollout of a statewide design system, the full functionality of EvoSign, our government digital signature service, and the introduction of the digital identity wallet. Together, these initiatives will enhance trust, interoperability, and secure access across all public services. And of course, systems need protection. And in the digital world, this means cybersecurity. In May, Moldova signed the EU Cybersecurity Reserve Agreement. I traveled to Brussels for this very purpose. And we became the first non-EU country to join this pan-European initiative against digital threats. We did this in a critical context: a war at our border, foreign interference in our information space, record levels of digitalization in elections, and rising investments in infrastructure, energy, and connectivity in our country, all of which demand stronger cyber defense. Moldova has made cybersecurity a national priority. We have actually doubled the size of our national cybersecurity agency. We expanded CyberCore to train more talent in cybersecurity and cyber defense. We strengthened regional cooperation with our neighbors and with our strategic allies. I want to highlight that Moldova doesn't just participate in cyber defense. We lead with commitment and credibility. Through the Digital Europe program, we are aligning our security standards, investing in resilience, and ensuring that Moldova's digital space is not only open, but it is also safe. And this is a vital step to protect our infrastructure, our institutions, and our citizens. Now, what drives digital success? It is not just infrastructure or funding. As Anna said, it is the people. Our greatest asset of Moldova, of Europe, and of the world are our talent. Moldova is the home to one of the most awarded national robotics teams in the world, with 12 victories stretching from Geneva to Singapore. These young innovators that you see here, and you have Sanda, you can go and meet her, she's right there. at one of the stands. I think she's at the Startup Moldova stand. And these young innovators, they prove that Moldova has what it takes to build a world-class tech ecosystem. This is why we're investing in AI and data science education, because artificial intelligence is not just a sector. For us, it's a national idea. We're launching this year the National AI Skills Program to prepare Moldova's workforce for the future. Cybersecurity training through Cybersecurity Institute and the Cybersecurity Agency to develop a cybersecurity talent pipeline and future-ready workforce. University-industry partnerships that keep our best minds building here and not abroad. We are not just exporting talent, we're empowering it here in Moldova. And of course, digital growth requires deep connectivity. Now, today, Moldova boasts nationwide fiber internet. Moldova has a very high gigabit internet coverage of around 90% of the population having the option to subscribe to a gigabit plan. And this places Moldova in the top countries in the world for gigabit coverage. We want to expand the 5G networks, and we want to expand the smart logistics hubs. And it isn't about just internet, it's about an economy that's fast and integrated and future-proof. And we're not just building an economy, we're building a destination here for digital life. In April of this year, Moldova adopted one of the most attractive regulatory frameworks for digital nomads in the region, offering residency for up to 2 years for remote professionals working for foreign companies. It's a bold step to attract global talent and position Moldova as a destination for digital living and working. Developers, analysts, entrepreneurs, you name it, you're all welcome here, not just to work, but also live, grow, and thrive, have families. And innovation needs more than ideas. It needs fuel. That is why the government of Moldova is launching a new startup fund of over 1 million euros that actually the government is going to vote on it today. I'll be here. My colleagues in the government will propose it for the voting. And we're preparing to launch the government-backed fund of funds by the end of this year to boost venture capital and equity investments across the innovation system. We support early-stage innovators, women-led startups, and high-growth teams that are committed to building here in Moldova. As we say, one unicorn in Moldova goes a long way. And if you have the vision, we'll help you scale. Moldova believes in your potential. Now, for the big news at this year's summit, in 2025, we will go even further. We're not just promoting digital innovation, we are building the infrastructure to sustain it. That is why the government is launching this year 2 new technology parks. The Moldova High Tech Park, focused on deep technology, AI, and enterprise software, and Agritech Park, a hub for smart agriculture and green innovation. I want to highlight that actually Moldova did the first AI wine. If you don't know what is this, then go and check it out. And this is not just an innovation infrastructure. We want to host the industries of tomorrow. We're no longer asking if Moldova can be a tech hub. We're proving it. We have vision, structure, and we have scale. And the foundation in this dynamic ecosystem is an innovation-driven interconnectivity and built to deliver resilient, tech-enabled public and private services, from fintech to government tech, from energy tech to health tech, from ed tech and nanotech. These sectors are not just growth areas, they are Moldova's strategic pillars for a digital future. So, to all of the founders, investors, partners, and dreamers in this room, I say, come to Moldova, build in Moldova, shape the digital future with us, because Moldova is ready, Moldova is open, and Moldova is digital. Thank you. Now, because in this transformation journey, we need friends, allies, I have here the honor to greet my counterpart from Latvia. And she exemplifies how vision and leadership can transform nations through digital innovation. I want to invite next to me the Minister for Smart Administration and Regional Development of Latvia, Inga Berziņa. And I want to say that we exchanged some views this morning over coffee. Coming from Brussels, you know that there is a lot of regulation. There is good regulation. There can also be bad regulation, but there are areas where they need to be regulated, like construction, for example. We want sound construction industry. So these are areas that need to be regulated. But what we exchange and we agreed on is that we need to be smart about it. And you, as the digital industry, are going to help us to do exactly that. Inga, Madam Minister, please come up on stage.
Honorable Prime Minister, Madam, Deputy Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the invitation and for the excellent organization of this year Moldova Digital Summit. Latvia and Moldova share a common goal to build modern, citizen-friendly digital state grounded in the values of European Union. Our partnership is not just an opportunity for cooperation. It is a mutual investment in our shared future. The implementation of secure and sustainable technologies in both public administration and the private sector is often hindered by short-term priorities and habits. Latvia is ready to learn together and find optimal solutions for ensuring digital sustainability. Latvia is also prepared to share its demand-driven innovation solutions, which help shift mindsets and inspire entrepreneurs to take bold steps in their digital growth. The public sector in Latvia has taken bold steps, which have led to strong results. Public services used digitally serves as a convincing example. More than 80% of citizens and entrepreneurs use public services digitally. EID, digital signatures, and e-addresses ensure secure and trustworthy digital environments and access to public services regardless of location. Artificial intelligence development is daily focus of my ministry. The National Artificial Intelligence Center was launched as a partnership between public administration, the public administration, the private sector, and academia in April this year. The center will perform strategic coordination functions to facilitate transition to smart manufacturing, optimizing operational efficiency, creating innovations, and sustainable solutions. Our IT companies are core element here with the proven experience in AI. To mention language technologies as an example why strong emphasis is given to education and competency development in the field of AI in Latvia. Latvian ICT companies are ready to collaborate and support Moldova in its growth, in its digital growth. Team Latvia ICT brings together national leaders in ICT infrastructure, cybersecurity, and innovation. 3 major project initiatives can be developed to support Moldova's growth and strengthen its cyberspace, a national optical network, a secure data center, and wireless communications for state institutions. Latvia is developing the most modern data center in the Baltics, which will be suitable for AI infrastructure, energy efficient, environmentally friendly, and will incorporate the latest industry innovations. This example can serve as inspiration for similar solutions in Moldova, which Team Latvia ICT is ready to implement in cooperation with trusted partners. Cooperation between Latvia and Moldova should include a structured dialogue between our ICT communities, including in areas such as cybersecurity, e-governance, smart mobility, and AI applications. Initiatives like European Digital Innovation Hub and Techratory in Latvia have already proven their value. We are ready to share this model with Moldova to accelerate its digital maternity. Latvia is fully committed to supporting Moldova on its path to EU through experience, partnership, and assistance in attracting funding of EU programs. This commitment is already reflected in the cooperation between Team Latvia ICT and Moldova's IT and cybersecurity service, aimed at enhancing international capacity for acquiring and managing EU funding. We are working in partnership with the Latvian ICT Cluster, a cooperation platform for Latvian ICT companies to advance digital transformation, with TET, one of the Latvia's leading telecommunications operators, and with Elektroniski Sakari, the state-owned company responsible for managing national resources, such as the radio frequency spectrum and numbering. Together, they are sharing their expertise with both public and private sector stakeholders in Moldova. This cooperation will help Moldovan companies meet the opportunities of the EU single market and take full advantage of its benefits. We invite the creation of long-term cooperation between the ICT communities of Latvia and Moldova based on practical experience, mutual trust, and purposeful actions. The digital future is in our hands. Let us shape it together, remembering that the future independence of our countries is closely tied to the digital literacy and excellence of our citizens, businesses, and governments. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. Now, with great pleasure, I will announce all the partners and sponsors of this event. As you all know, if you've been here before, this event is organized under the patronage of the Prime Minister of Republic of Moldova. The governmental partner is obviously the Government of Moldova and the Ministry of Economic Development and Digitalization. The organizers are ATIC, MITP or Moldova Innovation Technology Park, e-Governance Agency, TechWell. Co-organizers, Invest Moldova Agency, Startup Moldova, Business Voice. Strategic partners, it's the EU delegation, German Cooperation, GIZ, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, World Bank, UMIF, Swiss Cooperation Office in Moldova, UNFPA, UNDP, Innovate Moldova Program, e-Governance Agency, UNICEF, Soros Moldova Foundation. And the sponsors are Platinum MasterCard, Gold Orange Moldova and International Media Support, and Silver RSD, IBM, and AWS. Also, for those of you who need translation, și am să zic și în română, pentru cei care aveți nevoie de garnituri de traduceri, you can find them at the front. Puteți să le găsiți în față ca să puteți să înțelegeți foarte clar ce se întâmplă. Next, we will have a panel. Our dear Deputy Prime Minister will be moderating it, and the panel's topic is the role of strategic collaborations and global support in shaping digital economies. We have a lot of speakers, as you can see, and I'm pretty sure that the Deputy Prime Minister will have a very fruitful conversation with all of our speakers. And as I see the team members are ready, we will invite on stage Doina Nistor, who will announce the participants of the panel. And I want to thank all the volunteers for being in front of the camera the whole time.
All right. So glad. Now, if you give me the mic, that would be also amazing, so that we have technology finally working. All right, so you know that digitalization can always be done in partnership with partners and friends. It is not a single country journey, it's a multi-partner journey. So I want to invite next to me Torben Heinemann, Director of the Regional Project Eastern Partnership for Trade and Transport, GIZ. Anna Maria De Leo, Trade Policy Advisor, Open Trade Gate Sweden. Let's try to join next to the photo so that, please. Daniela Gasparikova, UNDP Res Rep of the Republic of Moldova. Guido Bertrani, Director of Cooperation, Swiss Cooperation Office in the Republic of Moldova. Stella Zemne, Country Representative for Moldova, UMAEF. Alexander Picker, Chairman of the Managing Board, Moldincom Bank. And this would be it, our esteemed panelists. Mr. Heinemann, let me start, I think, with quite a philosophical question. Digitalization is transforming how citizens, businesses, and governments interact. From your perspective, how can German cooperation best support Moldova's efforts to harness digital tools? Whether we're strengthening civil society engagement, we're improving public service delivery, or we're expanding opportunities for SMEs, including in less connected regions, as for example, in Moldova, we have 50% or 25% of the working population is still in the rural areas, and we need to ensure that digitalization also addresses the sustainability and inclusiveness aspect. Let's see.
Okay, thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you for the invitation. And German cooperation, that means through GIZ and also KfW, supports Moldova digital transformation as an integral part of broader public administration reforms and EU integration. So we always see those two parts together. So we work very closely together with the State Chancellery and several line ministries, including the Ministry of Economy, Digital Transformation, Ministry of Finance, Agency for Geodesy, for example, Cartography and Cadastre, E-Governance Agency, Public Service Agency, National Youth Agency, IPR, and local authorities, or, for example, in the case of the project that I'm working with Customs Services, as in the Eastern Partnership Project for Trade and Transport. In general, we support the development of the national program for the implementation of the National Digital Transformation Strategy in line with the National Strategy Moldova European Year 2030. And through our partnership with the Moldovan government, we're working to modernize public administration, making services more transparent, accessible, and citizen-oriented. And this includes support for the Public Service Agency, for improving institutional capacity, enhance online access to all public services. I'm very much aware of the progress that were made already in Moldova, by improving online appointments, queue system, and everything in line with EU standards, and the development of the e-government strategy. Or with the support of the Bureau of European Integration in developing a website and tools on communicating the EU integration process. And we worked also with the re-engineering of the cadastral services to simplify procedures and processes in this field. I'm still working with paper.
We need to work on that.
I understand. I learned this already this morning.
To protect the nature.
Sorry for that one. So the other part is that we also support the territorial reform. You were asking for how we work in the region, territorial reform and local governance. where digital tools can ensure that even small and remote communities access the same quality of services as, for example, here in the capital in Chisinau. And this includes the creation of local digital one-stop shops with our partners and support for voluntary amalgamation processes, also helping in the reorganization of the administration. We support the National Youth Agency, where we helped to develop a centralized, youth-friendly platform to explore various opportunities offered by the government, as well as engage in youth-related policy and decision-making. Another example, e-democracy platform, which is being launched by the EJA during this very summit, so we will see. And also the platform supported with the Soros Foundation was developed together with the e-governance agency and promotes inclusive civic electronic participation for Moldovans. And we also support small, medium-sized enterprises. That's a big target group for our work by, for example, supporting the development of the digital innovation hubs, which is just in competition and in a selection process. And we supported with this also 12 small, medium-sized enterprises and help them to improve their business cases in the field of agriculture, health sector, food, winery, and tourism. And we're interested in this private sector with working with the Business Link, and more than 100 businesses were already attached to this activity. And in the case of my project, we're working as a regional project, so we're connecting also Moldova with the countries of the Eastern Partnership for Trade and Transport. We work together with customs on digitalization, custom processes to support for international trade and connecting the region in this field. Maybe as a general, also more or less conclusion, I think it's very important that the processes that we support should be effective. The international support must be long-term as a partner with Moldova. It should be flexible on all the situations where it should be aligned with Moldova's vision. So we help with Moldova's vision, not with the German vision. We also need to coordinate the projects to avoid duplications. We do this with our partners. And maybe also from my personal perspective, I worked for German city administration in the past. And I learned if you want to develop innovation and transformation, you need to break the silos of thinking, the silos of working.
The silos of different registries where you have,
totally.
The cadastral registry maybe doesn't communicate with the local public administration,
exactly.
Right?
And this is actually what I think what we're doing here today. We're bringing people, we're bringing ideas together for an exchange, and this is what I think the Moldova Digital Summit is the best case, and we support this here. Thank you.
Thank you. And just to build on what you said, very important when we're speaking about public service delivery is to re-engineer those public services, just to make sure that we don't digitalize the bureaucracy, but we actually streamline the bureaucracy and we re-engineer the services and then digitalize. My second conclusion from what you said is the breaking the silos. So to make sure that there is interconnectivity, because a citizen-centric digitalization means that for the citizens it will be simple. This is what Moldova wants to achieve through EVO. We want the whole interaction to be through the mobile phone, one click away. We're lucky to have exceptional digital mobile coverage, broadband and mobile coverage. So I think that in itself is already an ingredient, very good foundation for the next generation digital services that we are building together with the e-government agency. And we will continue to accelerate this path. As I said, for Moldova, 2030, is a 100% digital state. By the end of this year, 75% of the mainstream public services to be fully digitalized, because this saves time and money and allows to build that citizen-centric and business-centric ecosystem, let's say, or policies. And now, and we really appreciate the support from GIZ. I know you've been an exceptionally strategic partner for Moldova on many different ways, including digitalization. And we hope that in this journey, we move forward together. We're glad to have the GIZ support on that. And I want to also mention in access to finance and many other areas, including access to finance for startups. And switching a little bit to business, and another very strategic partner for Moldova is the government of Sweden. So Anna Maria, you're coming from Stockholm. I hope that we're going to get on that direct flight, Stockholm-Chisinau. You still, I don't know, how many hours did you travel?
This time I think there were 5, but I know that there is a direct flight, so I hope that I take it next time.
Yes, okay. I mean, my objective is that to have that first flight that will be launched when? On June 1st? Or on July 1st?
I think it was on June 1st, but we
June
bought the tickets too early. So
we need to check it and to make sure that it's filled with a lot of government, partnership, friendship, and business connections. Tell us a little bit about Innovate Moldova and why Sweden decided to continue this very important project for the country.
Right. Sweden supported the innovation system in Moldova for a long time. It was very much together with USAID. But now we decided to continue on our own because we really believe in the tech future of Moldova. I was thinking that for those of you that don't know anything about the National Board of Trade in Sweden, we are a very, very small agency working with international trade and trade policy, but we also work with selected countries to support, and here Moldova comes into the picture. We support and proud to support Moldova's EU integration path when it comes to trade policy, but also Moldovans IT companies to enter into Sweden through our project TechStep Sweden. And our project wouldn't have been possible without the whole support and the whole hard work that actually happened here in Moldova to build the whole ecosystem, to build a strong and reliable ecosystem that supports development of IT companies.
How do you see the business relationship sort of evolving between our countries in the sphere of tech?
Yes, I think that this was one of the things that I wanted to highlight, that Sweden is one of the champions when it comes to innovation, but I believe that there are so many things in common. This is my 5th time in Moldova, and every time I come here, I realize more and more how alike we are. Because Sweden is strong in innovation, but you have the ambition to be very strong in innovation, and you are on the way there. At the same time, you have a lot of talent that we need in Sweden. And as you said, the idea is not to move the talent to Sweden. The idea is to create partnerships. And this is really a nice, good moment to create partnerships between tech companies, between startups, to be able to grow together. And you know, you mentioned about the AI wine. I can bring to the table the AI whiskey, which was made in Sweden, and you can actually buy it there. So there are a couple of things in common. What I think that it would be a nice way to go forward. I believe that putting even more emphasis into strengthening the ecosystem and the dialogue between different members, stakeholders in the ecosystem, like government, academia, industry, and the civil society, that is the the recipe for success for Sweden. And I think that this is where we can definitely cooperate, and the companies have the chance to see that. And then another thing that is important, I think that the EU path and adapting EU legislation, becoming more and more familiar for the IT ecosystem in Sweden, you know, by having the same regulation, that creates a lot of credibility
and stability and trust.
Exactly, because trust is in the
trust is the essence of business relationships. And I want to also highlight, just being in Stockholm 2 weeks ago and talking to Swedish businesses and Swedish agencies, one of the areas that we discussed would be a cooperation would be on cybersecurity. Moldova is in a hybrid war right now, so deploying your cyber force here to help us out during these critical times of elections, but also learning in the status of a hybrid war, and then going back and having the practical knowledge for your own upcoming elections.
Exactly.
This helps us to cooperate and create a cyber shield for the whole region.
Yes, but I would also like to highlight and really encourage you to support development of IT companies with own solutions, like the green economic transformation, for example. It is one of those areas where we definitely can cooperate more and can learn more of each other. And the high-tech park probably it's one of those aspects.
And absolutely, I mean, Sweden being one of the top innovators in the world, and you highlighted how important the innovation ecosystem is. I want to also thank the government of Sweden for helping us build a network of innovation centers. We have one even in creative arts, ArtCore. If you haven't visited it, please visit it. There is an expo there in the back with Artivive. There's a lot of talent and a lot of business opportunities in this field. We also have one in media tech that we developed together. We have one in cyber tech we developed together, and one coming up in the region of Cahul, soon to be open. So this is with big gratitude for the ability to cooperate and grow the innovation ecosystem and the network of innovation hubs, already 10 innovation hubs across the whole country, and with GIZ stepping in through Digital Europe as well to open more.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Anna Maria. And I want to also give a chance to Daniela Gasparikova. And I know that as UNDP, I mean, we have partnered together to develop the National Digital Transformation Strategy that was also referenced, 2030, and to advance inclusivity, right? To advance inclusive digital public services. I mean, from your perspective, what conditions can make international partnerships effective in supporting governments to implement reforms that are both resilient and centric on human development, ensuring that technology actually in a meaningful way is used to improve the lives, to reduce inequalities, and actually empower the citizens?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, dear Deputy Prime Minister, dear partners, dear participants. Great pleasure to be today with you. It's for me the third time in the Digital Summit, and it's amazing, as my preceding speakers said, to see and witness how much progress has been made in Moldova in the area of improving the digital ecosystems, innovation and ambition. 3 preconditions I would like to bring to your attention that I see as critical for the speed, acceleration and purposeful delivery of the innovation in the digital area in the Republic of Moldova, and they are all present. First and foremost, it's national ownership and the vision. And you have mentioned the National Digital Transformation Strategy that many partners contributed to, including UNDP. And this vision, which again and again is brought to the fore and is embraced by all the institutions and actors in the digital ecosystem, allow Moldova, also in the public sphere, to move from the isolated individual digital solutions to developing an interoperable, connected ecosystem that was able to bring to bear when the crisis struck. And for example, Energy Vulnerability Reduction Fund, which is powered by such digital solution that allow to take the advantage of the existing interoperability and data exchange highway, which was not used by parts of the dormant data system and parts of the dormant digital ecosystem in the country, and deliver in a speedy manner on the support that was needed by most vulnerable. This wouldn't be possible had there not been that strategic vision. Second, what we have seen is the digital solutions delivered most in the public administration when they are paired and underpin the broader governance and public administration reforms. So it's not only about what those digital solutions can do in terms of delivering specific public service, but how the derivatives that they create in terms of the data, connections, relationships actually deliver purposefully on the effectiveness and efficiency and performance in the public institutions, similar to the private sector. Those digital solutions mostly are there in the private sector to expand the market, to harness new clients. And I think that this is what we are seeing more and more in the public administration, to make sure that those solutions that are put in place are delivering for the clients of the government, which is every single citizen, every single person in the Republic of Moldova, regardless also where they come from. Which then brings me to the third precondition that is very much present, and I think it has been already demonstrated also in the speech of the Prime Minister, but also of yourself, Madam Deputy Prime Minister, and that is relentless focus on people. It's very heartening to see the strides that Moldova is making to walk the last mile in terms of bringing the broadband to every single village, to bring that 5G solution, to bridge the urban-regional divide, to bridge divide between different age populations, younger and older, and also bridging the divide across the income, different income households. We still see that in Moldova, while 70% of higher income households have computers, for the lower income households, it's only 1/3. And that's why public administration institutions continue to have the responsibility, and they are embracing it, to make sure that those digital services continue to be accompanied by other channels of the delivery, while the groups of the population in the remote areas in different ages are catching up on the digital skills and ability, allowing them to harness this potential. Last but not least, let me talk about the AI a little bit, since it has been hinted on by all the preceding speakers. Recently, United Nations Development Programme published the Human Development Report, where we argue that artificial intelligence is a matter of choice. It's a development wild card, similar to what digital technologies have been several decades ago. And it is also very encouraging to see that the government in Moldova is embracing AI, and I also hope is going to make the public legislation and standardization and regulation choices that will turn this AI development wild card into a tool that augments and closes the gaps that we have seen in education, in healthcare system, and also in income across Moldova. So thank you very much.
And with inclusivity at the heart and ethical. And indeed, Moldova will transpose the AI Act by the end of next year, so already in the process, because as we said, we want to align to the EU regulatory shield, let's say, so that there is previsibility and trust among our businesses. At the same time, Daniela, you mentioned about energy, and Moldova is fast-tracking investments. There are huge investments in the energy, where we turn energy from a vulnerability of Moldova into a strength. I know that you have supported to develop the so-called law on energy, a sandbox in the energy field. I mean, how important do you feel that while we are digitalizing this critical infrastructure in a very ethical, inclusive, and sustainable way, how important do you view to harness, the data and the innovation around that through such regulatory sandboxes as the energy sandbox? And do you know that there are a few projects already on the way to take advantage of this energy sandbox law?
So thank you very much for that question, and allowing me to promote another piece of an R&D enabling environment and innovation in Moldova, and that is the introducing the regulatory framework in the energy sector, so-called energy regulatory sandbox. It might be known to many of you from the fintech industry, which allows for controlled derogation from the energy regulation for anyone who wants to do the ethical experiments and ethical innovation in the energy sector to advance the progress, also to grow the market for the private companies, but also allowing Moldova energy sector transformation leapfrogging in terms of...
Because we also want to bring more clean technologies to be produced here in Europe as well.
Exactly.
Right?
So it can be both the physical space, it can be the virtual space. The companies do not have to be only based here in Moldova. It's open to academia. It's open to any R&D outlet that is out there that is interested in doing the innovation in the energy sector. So I'm very proud that we were able, together with our partners from the energy community, Ministry of Energy, to put this regulatory framework for anybody who is interested to experiment, innovate, and advance energy sector transformation in Moldova and in the region.
And just to highlight, because I see here colleagues from the Ministry of Healthcare, and just to highlight that our strategy is to create sandboxes in two areas. So energy, we already have the energy sandbox law adopted last year that we are now implementing with projects. And the second one is in the healthcare, because harnessing data in healthcare is absolutely critical right now. So this is the second priority for Moldova, to have a sandbox there. Now, I want to give the opportunity to Guido Beltrani and to talk a little bit about the digitalization, the digital economy, and the SMEs. So in Moldova, 90%, or even I'd say 99%, are small and medium companies. I know that in the EU, there is actually a threshold. So the EU objectives are to digitalize, to achieve a basic digital maturity for 2/3, 75% of the SMEs. I'm not sure if maybe that objective has been updated. And 50% for medium to advanced. We want to catch up. Like, how important do you think this is to advance digitalization of SMEs? And we're very grateful for our collaboration in this field. We want to hear your thoughts on how we can fast track the digitalization of small and medium enterprises.
Thank you very much, Deputy Prime Minister. It's a privilege to be here in this panel and to show and to present how the Swiss international cooperation further promote the digital transformation, in particular in the SME sector. My previous speaker, Daniela Gasparikova, highlighted 3 preconditions for a successful digital transformation, which I fully endorse. And I would add maybe a 4th element, which is at the core of what Switzerland's international cooperation do here in Moldova to push digital transformation, in particular in the SMEs area. And this is alignment and cooperation, collaboration. Alignment between the agendas of the public sector, of the private sector, and of the development partners. And I think this is also a precondition that is fully met. And collaboration among the different stakeholders within the ecosystem. And also this is the path chosen by Moldova. And our approach is also fully aligned with this. We have here, we see in the audience, a number of experts. So Moldova is a front runner in the area of digital transformation. So the role of a development partner cannot be to do things. You can do it much better than we do. But to foster collaboration, to connect stakeholders, to be a knowledge broker. And let me give a few examples. So now we do that concretely in some of the Swiss-funded projects. And allow me at this stage also to thank Helvetas Moldova, who implements the Opt-in project, which aims at promoting innovation and growth in the SME sector, and also our colleagues from GIZ, with which we collaborate in a project that promotes investments in Moldova. So the first thing is, of course, promoting innovative IT tools. I can quote different tools, like the Digital Maturity Assessment is a new tool that helps SMEs to assess their digital readiness and design also a practical path forward. We work also on promoting the MIA instant payment system for e-commerce, or introducing enterprise resource planning, so ERP software, to be used by, in particular by agri-food SMEs to manage their day-to-day business activities. Again, here our main role is not to develop these tools, we support their developments, but is to connect the dots, to enable those tech providers, innovation hubs, IT association, and also international partners like, for instance, the digital innovation hubs in Romania to cooperate and to bring forward the creation of these hubs. Of these tools, sorry. Tools alone are not the solution. Tools must be used, and this is why we cooperate also with Moldovan business support organizations to develop training units which enable SMEs how to use these tools in their daily business for marketing or customer engagement. Another important tool, and we are in discussion also with the Ministry of Economic Development and Digitalization on this, is the BizRadar, which is a very important tool for SMEs to have access to public services, information, market opportunities, but also to be in dialogue with the public sector, to submit proposals on how further improve the policies and make them even smarter than today. And other important elements are conferences, like this beautiful conference of today, where we bring together different stakeholders. Switzerland support also other important conferences like the FinTech for SMEs, the Startup Moldova conference, where small and medium enterprises can connect with tech innovators, financial institutions, and regulators. Allow me to give the last two examples on how to promote collaboration. We support associations in the sector, ATIC, the Association of ICT Companies in the country, and DACEM, the Electronics Association. Both are very important for the digital transformation. They have a strong role in advocacy, but they have also an important role in fostering collaboration among their members. And last but not least, we spoke a lot about people being at the center. This is also very much at the core of what we do. Moldova has a lot of skilled and talented ICT people. We support the educational sector and companies to connect, to ensure that also the young people of today will be skilled and talented. For instance, we are supporting a fun Java programming in gymnasiums and in vocational schools across the country. So I think, to conclude, we can be proud of what we have achieved together, and we are looking forward to continuing this journey together for fostering further the digital transformation of Moldova. Thank you.
That was amazing. There's even a round of applause. I was gonna actually, to conclude, so first of all, for SME digitalization, we need a lot of facilitators, right? Those that will connect SMEs with the tech solutions, because SMEs are still thinking about how to produce, how to survive. They're not thinking about digitalization. Second, what you said is very important, to have interoperable solutions. I mean, the cost of technology for SMEs is going down. It's very important to have interoperability. I remember at one point in time I was talking to our farmers, to the agricultural sector, and they were saying, okay, I have this solution from this vendor, then there comes a different vendor, I want to digitalize the ERP, I digitalize, I don't know, my land, my maps, and where I have, I don't know, some precision farming elements with collecting data from the precipitation data, and so on. And then there comes another vendor and says, oh, my solution doesn't work with that solution, right? And this is the case for SMEs. So I would assume that sort of SMEs are still confused in the whole digital world. And with the evolution of AI, I think there's even more confusion, and there's more that knowledge pressure on the SMEs to make sure that they're making the right investment. So, I mean, from the perspective of government policies, I mean, you're right. There needs to be facilitators, associations, different digital hubs that help, their meeting points. And then number two, I think the government still needs to incentivize digitalization of SMEs, still needs to give that small ticket, I don't know, $1,000, $500, if it's a cloud-based solution, to show SMEs it's a worthwhile investment in that sense. I wanted to make maybe to do with the audience and see. So I have maybe we pick three spheres because we also have automation and robotics, right? We have digitalization, automation and robotics, and AI that is somehow changing the digitalization of SMEs. Let's see which industry you think, from our perspective, is lagging behind and needs the most investment push for SME digitalization. So we have three, and you vote. We vote, everyone. So one is food and agriculture. Who votes for that? Okay. Manufacturing, production, less. Trade, very little. So again, agriculture and food. I see a lot. I bet if I say healthcare and education, everybody will be raising their hand, right? So we have a lot of work to do. This means we need more solutions. We need more tech companies. We need innovation in the tech sphere itself. Because, there are tech companies that used to be on the stage. They're getting off the stage. There are other startup companies that are getting on the stage. So with that, I want to shift the mic to Stella Zemna. I mean, Stella, you represent a tech investment fund. You're curating the tech innovation ecosystem here in the country, not only, also in Ukraine and in the region. How do you view the role, of innovation ecosystem and sort of all of the work that you do on startups? And I really want to hear your opinion. How do you see the startup community, like in Moldova and in this region, sort of coming up and rising?
I have to admit the startup community was pretty weak 10 years ago in Moldova. We didn't have much to say about startups. And what's interesting right now is that in just 2 years, startups in Moldova basically had the chance to get some millions from different investment funds. Ukraine-Moldova American Enterprise Fund was the only fund who invested since the war started, so we never stopped investing in startups, including from the war until now, we invested in 5 startups, but we invested in much more. Basically, through our programs, we attracted $44 million in the country and created over 1,000 jobs, which means startups matter in this community. And actually, I wanted to tell you that you just get into a trap. We got you all together here to tell you how brilliant Moldova is. But not only that, we have a lot of problems, that's true. But yeah, we can clap for the brilliance of Moldova because we did a great
let's give
job
a
on
round
that.
of applause, yes, to the Moldovan startups.
Exactly. And if you didn't know, I'm pretty optimistic about Moldova's future because we have people like Doina on board. If you didn't know, she was the one who put the shoulder when she wasn't in the government for IT companies to have that tax reduction, for creative industry, for robotics. All the data that she presented today is actually a result of her work as well, so I would like to acknowledge that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, some clapping, it's good. What I think about, because I think the only Moldovan besides Doina on this panel, I want to say that Moldovans need to understand that digital economy is a marathon. It's not going to happen overnight, and we need everyone to be part of it. Private sector, public, donors, we are all need to be aligned. It's not going to happen overnight, and all this interoperability, this amazing word, is not going to happen in 1 or 2 days. The fact that today we have YEVO and we are working on it is already great. You've seen what happened in Ukraine with their application, which basically put all the people together, digitalize a lot of services, and they are very good at it. I think Kievo is the next DIA in Moldova, and we are working on it. I hope next Digital Summit we will tell you about not 100,000, but about 2 million people who are part of this
Including
platform.
1 million in the diaspora.
Exactly, if we include those people as well. Yes, this is one thing. Another thing what's very important, you know, uncertainty and change is actually our new normal. We can't actually talk the fact that it's so unstable and we can't make things happen. I told you about startup community. In 2 years, they raised money, even though a lot of people said that it's impossible to raise money in a country which is bordering with a country in war. The same happened in Moldova, the same happened in Ukraine. In Ukraine, the economy grew in terms of startups and tech. Same is happening in Moldova, and if any of that international community who is looking at Moldova, I would really encourage you to go to that booth and see what we are doing in terms of startups and technology. We have several startups that are now in US. They are bootstrapping a lot of money. We still don't talk much about them because we will talk when they will become unicorns, and I'm sure we will make it happen all together. And one more last thing, I don't want to keep you pretty long. Moldova is not alone. The simple fact that all of you got together in one country, which is small, you know, in the region, it's unfortunate that a lot of people learn about Moldova after the war in Ukraine. But we need to use this opportunity really to grow our economy. And we have this opportunity because of the digital. And we use this opportunity. So thank you very much for being part of this endeavor. We will definitely make it happen, not by 2030, but even sooner than later.
Stella, thank you so much. I mean, I wanted to give you more questions like what are you guys looking at, what are you investing in right now, because I know that now is a biggest trend or scale-ups and deep technology, and I just came from my visit. I met with the Alexandru Andrushka, who is our neurosurgeon who has a startup in health tech for AI and AR, VR assisted surgeries, and I also visited nanotech, micro nanotech. They have nanotechnologies for aerospace here in Moldova, and they're also using them for in vitro fertilization. So we need to speed up the deep technology and bring, the startup community, the investment funds, and the R&D sort of together for the next wave of investments. But maybe we can have a chance and have a panel later to tell us about the fund and what kind of investments are you looking at. But because investments, they need finance. We need money, we need inclusive finance, we need smart finance, we need fintech. We have here with us Alexander Picker, who is the chairman of Moldinkom Bank. Moldinkom Bank being one of the leading banks on the Moldova market. And we understand how important for SMEs is to adopt solutions in their business. We want to an honest opinion, how advanced are we in fintech? How advanced is the Moldova's financial sector in general, and sort of what are the partnerships that you guys are building to bring more technology in the financial sphere and make sure that the finance is affordable, is fast, and it's inclusive for everyone who wants to use it, including small companies?
Yeah, thank you very much. Madam Minister, I'm being told we have to speed up, so the red light is flashing now.
Don't
so
pay attention.
I'll be very quick. But before, answer your question, finance, yes, it's there. But let me ask you another thing. What are we doing here? It's a little bit l'art pour l'art, yeah? Digital because of digital. So the framing here, like very much, you have the government, you have the business at the other end. So aren't we forgetting why are we doing that? I mean, there's a customer at the end of that. There's a customer, we want to make the life more convenient. We want to make the life your customers, the citizens. We want to add convenience. And at the end of the day, we want to make money, right? So I think it is very important to think why we are doing that we are working there for our customers to make the pain points go away, to make life easier, to make the citizens more prosperous, to help on everything what we can do. And I think this is the task. We as a bank, we are ready. We're not only financing the startups, which is a little bit difficult to finance. For that, we have the funds. But we are financing the companies, because the companies, why are we doing digital? Because we don't want to be the only sailboat company which remains, and the steamboat companies are going there. Thank you.
I think Regia will excuse us, but I actually have a question, because you said we have the government here, we have the business, and then we have the end customers there, the citizens and the businesses, and everything needs to be citizen and business-centric. How important is that trend to integrate government services with banking services so that you can access both from wherever, whether it's from EVO or it's from the Moldova mobile app?
Very easy. If we are not fulfilling the needs of our customers, not addressing the pain points, we are gone. The government won't be gone, so that's you a little bit easier position. But we have to solve real problems. We have to keep the young people in the country. We have to work for the older people, that they are getting more prosperous, that they see a future in the country. And this is a task which we are going to do here at this summit, because the digitalization is a tool for that, and we as a bank, we really want to contribute.
Thank you so much. And this means that we work together as communities, as professionals, and as partner countries. So we thank everyone. Thank you so much for the panel today. And thank you, Regia, for allowing us the extra time.
Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister. Thank you, all the panel speakers. I want to thank again as well our sponsors, Platinum MasterCard and Moldova Bank, Gold, Orange Moldova, International Media Support, and Silver, RSD, IBM, AWS, and Dorna. A lot of you have been asking me this one simple question: where is the Wi-Fi? And I have the answer for you. Please check your Wi-Fi settings. You will find the Orange Wi-Fi you can connect to. I believe it's called Orange MDS. It's free without a password, so you can connect to it. Next, I want to invite on stage Vice President of the Moldovan Association of ICT Companies. But before he gets on stage, let me tell you a little bit about ITIC being the voice of Moldovan ICT. It was established in 2006. And it promotes development of the ICT sector in Moldova through viable partnerships between companies, similar organizations, governments, state institutions, and international organizations. The association was founded to represent the industry on different policy and legislative issues and to facilitate the exchange of best practices between the members. Its mission is to protect and promote the association members' interests, as well as facilitate a more favorable ICT business climate. And in case you forgot, they are also one of the organizers of today's event. So, without further ado, please welcome Eugene Galamaga, Vice President, Board of Directors, Moldovan Association of ICT Companies.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, dear partners, good morning. It's an honor for me to be here today and a privilege to speak on behalf of Moldova's vibrant and growing IT business community. As mentioned, ATIC is the leading voice of the industry with the government, and with 80 members, we represent about 40% of 1.5 billion of the industry that is operating in Moldova. Let me start by saying thank you to the speakers that have been sharing their insights earlier. It's truly encouraging to see the Moldova's government continued commitment to digital transformation, from things like digital identity to open data, from citizen-centric services to innovative tools that help transparency in governance. These are all essential foundations. And the private sector sees them not only as the achievements, but also as the starting points. Moldova is at a crucial crossover today. With groundwork laid, now it's time to build upon it. And in this effort, private business, and especially tech sector, role is vital. Moldova's IT community has long proven capacity to deliver world-class solutions. We export digital services to some of the most demanding markets. We innovate across e-commerce, fintech, AI, cybersecurity, and AI wine. Much of this actually has been possible thanks to Moldova IT Park, which is a framework that offers clarity and support to business needs that allows business to focus on growth and innovation. And we know we can't do that alone. In an attempt to accelerate Moldova's digital leap, we need smart, constructive, and forward-looking collaboration between public institutions and private companies. And here, Moldova's small size is actually an advantage because the distance between the government and the business is short, and the dialogues we have are direct and impactful. The government should come with an environment that is stable, predictable, and open for innovation. And the business brings tools, expertise, and entrepreneurial drive. And as we move forward, we need to keep this environment enabling, not over-restrictive, so that the innovations are not slowed down by regulations that can't keep pace with the technology itself. And we must also think about the emerging questions, in particular shaped by rapid AI development. It challenges all of us to rethink how we build, how we innovate, and even how we work. But with wise management, it offers immense opportunities for both business and for that vision of a truly digital state which makes paperwork obsolete and where efficiency defines public experience. And we must move fast because Moldova is not only competing regionally, it is competing globally. So speed, flexibility, and openness to experimentations are no longer optional. These are requirements now. As we open the next chapters of this summit with the sessions driven by businesses and for businesses, I want all of us to think not only about technology, but also about partnerships, not only about strategies, but also about execution. Where can new policies unlock progress? What can we launch together? And what can we do to make sure that Moldova's digital future is not just planned, but built? We have the talent, we have the energy, and with the right level of cooperation, I have every reason to believe that Moldova's digital future is secured. Thank you. Before I go, did I mention that ATIC is also very active in developing countries' potential in terms of human resources? We've helped over 230,000 people to increase their skills, and Tech Will in Every School is one of the programs where ATIC is engaged in a project helping for almost 500 schools. And on Saturday, please add to your calendar at 4 p.m. There'll be official procedure where we'll be giving awards to the best students. So pay a visit. And also for the ATIC members that are not here, I don't see everyone, we want to make a picture outside in the lobby. Let's meet there. Thank you, and have a great productive sessions, everyone.
Thank you to Eugene Galamaga. I want to see, before we call on stage the next speaker, how is everybody feeling? Raise the hand if you're feeling good. Next question is it's vital. Raise your hand if you're thirsty. Because we have free water out of the fridges in the front. If you need water, you can go to the front and take it from the fridge. Next on stage, I want to invite one of today's sponsors. She will be talking about driving digital economy through innovative financial services. Her name is Angela Kașperuk. She's Vice President of Customer Solutions Center. And let me tell you a little bit about her. She is an acknowledged expert in digital systems with over 20 years of experience in the banking and payments industries. As Vice President for Business Development at MasterCard, Angela drives the company's strategic initiatives across Ukraine and Moldova, focusing on amplifying digital payment solutions and innovations. Before joining MasterCard, she built a successful career with several prominent Ukrainian and international banks. And before I call her on stage, I just want to remind everybody that we love you all dearly, but please don't walk in front of the cameras. So without further ado, Angela Kashperuk, Vice President, Customer Solutions Center, MasterCard.
Hello, hello. Still good morning, and frankly speaking, I tried to calculate how many times World Digital was mentioned. Do you know how many? It's impossible to calculate because it's endless. That's why, good morning, Digital Moldova. You are really digital, and my presentation today will be about you, about us, about everything that we did and how we plan to manage and accelerate everything that we are planning to do. So, I have a presentation. I think that I will be very fast because a lot of things we've already discussed. It was really amazing panelist discussion, and it's about big number of elements that build digital. That's why, let's start. Okay, it does not work. Okay. Yeah, it works. So, for who needs reminder, I am a representative of MasterCard, and MasterCard is really global technological company. You should know that more than 50 years we are developing solutions, not only digital, but a lot of. We work and empowering people, powering businesses in more than 200 countries and territories. Here in Moldova, we work closely with government, financial institutions, businesses, consumer to build a resilient, inclusive, and digital-ready future. When you're asking why it's about future, because digital it's not one-time effort, yeah, it's endless process. That's why let's talk, and maybe I repeat, but it's important, what the pillars are in digital. This is big ecosystem. First of all, this is about infrastructure. It's about connectivity. Connectivity from high-speed internet to cloud storage and mobile devices. It's important because without connectivity, digital will not work. But it's not enough access for platforms that provide digital services for customers and businesses. We need to provide them very fast way to register their business, to pay taxes, to buy something, to sell something, to identify themselves who they are with digital methods and with digital ID, for example. Next step and very important pillar is everyday usage of digital services. We have to provide very important and intuitively understandable way how they may save, borrow, invest with digital tools. And it should be not something that they need to understand additionally, because the main purpose for customers and for businesses is to their goods or their services, not payments, not methods. This is about something on backup. It should not be main for them. It should be additional tool for them. Next one is digital business. This is about payment industry and about a lot of players that are inside. All these players need connections, and they have to be connected digitally as well. Digital skills. We are all here digital, yeah? And we are not IT professionals. At the same time, a lot of neighborhood who is really in this country and near us are not digital, still not. That's why we have to support digital literacy and to extend this knowledge among all population. Then trust. Trust, it's clue for all these elements. It's very important. This is base for all ecosystem. And without it, all these pillars will not work together. Next one. It's it will not work. Okay. Next one is about Moldova. This is about reality. Several decades ago in Moldova, customers mostly withdraw money. At the same time now, according to National Bank, 9 out of 10 transactions are really cashless. This is very important stage. This is confirmation that Moldova is really digital. Second very important and impressive parameter is during 4 years, number of purchase transactions has grown 3.5%. Can you imagine how fast this country is developing? How fast? It's really amazing. Next parameter is about contactless. You know that Moldova has 99% of penetration of contactless payments. This places Moldova among 5 top countries globally by this parameter. Can you imagine that 5 top countries globally? You are leaders globally. And last but not last for all presentation, just for this slide, 43% of the penetration of transactions that were made by smartphones and NFC-enabled devices. It means that people are really open for technology. They're really very smart and adaptive for new digital methods of payments. Next slide. This is really a big challenge to click. Next slide is about main task. MasterCard has one very simple goal. Everyone, everywhere has to have opportunity and tools that will help grow their business and reach greatest potential. That's why 3 very important things inside. First one is convenience. You may say, now we have a lot of methods and they are really very convenient. But let's talk about convenience in conditions when security should be more stronger. Online and offline, it's different channels. Abroad, international and domestic payments have to be interoperable. And people have to manage all this stuff without specific knowledge. They are not professionals in payment industry. They're just users. That's why we have to create and develop so many specific solutions with big trust, but with very convenient methods for customers and businesses to give them interoperable functionality for their purpose. 2 examples of additional value-added services that are important and create value for traditional payments. When I am talking traditional, it's even contactless, it's even transactions with smartphones. It's traditionals now. Let's talk about purchase with cash withdrawal. Let's imagine that today you will go to the supermarket to buy bread, and you may withdraw some money during the purchase. It's very convenient because you should not go to ATM to spend time, to withdraw big portion of money, to save it for a week, yeah? But you know that everywhere on merchant site, you may withdraw a small portion of money for daily needs, for example. This is very important and new stage because usually we are talking about cashless only, but we have to provide very easy and simple access for customers to their cash to secure them, that tomorrow they have to be sure that money will be very easy to withdraw everywhere. And with this service, we would like to thank government because field for this service is really prepared from legal side, and we will announce later, and you will see this service very soon with technological readiness as well. Another one, it's cash to card. It's reverse service. So somebody would like to withdraw cash everywhere and to be sure that access is simple, yeah? But for big portion of customers and businesses especially, it's important to top up money to their cards because, for example, they get their revenue in cash. That's why they have to upload them to cards and to use to get rewards, for example. Yeah, it's also important, and it also should be integrated on merchant side. It may be integrated on merchant side, and this is two examples of additional service that may be used by customers on merchant side. Let's talk about SME. Example from Europe. It's around 25, it's more than 25 million of SME in Europe. And more than 90% of this SME, of these businesses, are micro. This is incredible fundament for all economies, yeah, and it's very important to support this micro business. At the same time, they are micro. At the same time, they bring more than 50% of GDP to Europe. Can you imagine that micro business may bring a half of GDP? At the same time, SME provide 65 workplaces. So can you imagine how many employees are working in SME? This is just confirmation that we need to create, to develop special tools and special payment methods for SME. It should not be traditional because they have additional needs and different needs. Three important pillars, especially for SME. First one is acceptance. When we are talking about SME, usually we are focusing mostly on business cards, on payment methods. At the same time, let's imagine who is SME. This is individuals who are working with business, who create, build business, and develop it. Can we provide them in one bundle, in one offer, solution for their needs to manage funds and some solutions to accept funds and to provide this solution as payment methods for their customers? So it should be bundled. That's why acceptance is very important pillar for SME. Second one is tailored financial services. It's very specific needs that we have to cover for SMEs. It's debit, credit, installments, and something to invest for them. This is not like individuals. At the same time, they are individuals as well. That's why we are seeing how we may differentiate these needs for the same person. And loyalty solutions. We understand that loyalty and rewards for businesses are not the same as for individuals. That's why we are thinking and developing special loyalty solutions for this exact segment. Next, very new product that MasterCard has called MasterCard as one credential. It means that with one credential, consumer or entrepreneur may use this credential in different ways. It may select debit or credit funds. It may select business or premium individual card. It may even select different segments that this card may be used. For example, in case SME will provide this card to employees, it may be restricted to use it in all other segments except of that segments where agriculture or where business trip or something like that. And all this stuff may be integrated in mobile banking, and choice and manage skills will be fully on customer side. This is very new and very important product that will allow customers to be even more digital and to be even more proactive with managing funds and needs. And one more very important areas where we are working, this is startups. Today, this topic also was discussed, and it's very important to support startups. MasterCard is committed to bring millions of startups to digital ecosystem. It's like fast-growing segment that need network, communication, skills, access to technology, and support. We have two different programs. First one is MasterCard Start Pass, and another one is MasterCard Lighthouse. This is different programs for early stage developed companies and for mature level of startups. All these programs are focused on access that companies may get from our side to technologies, access to networks, to knowledge, to expertise, sometimes for connections with investors. And it's really very successful programs for startups. It works, it's not new, it's really have already brought a lot of startups to the ecosystem. That's all from my side for today, for now. It's so fast, sorry. We have a lot of products, technologies, and I am sure that you know about this. In case you are interested, please, let's be connected. You may also visit our site. Our representatives here is Moldova. We will be with a pleasure to discuss all your questions today as well. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's give a round of applause to our stellar MasterCard speaker. I'm jumping in to replace Alex for a bit, just for one short announcement. We are continuing with our agenda, but because we announced our internet details, we also would like to announce that